Morning. Be Tuesday. Today is December 24th, Christmas Eve, and just like that, Christmas right around the corner. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. I know I did. A little bit under the weather yesterday. Caught a little bug. I'm not sure what it was, but I did not do any shop time yesterday. However, I had a fantastic weekend where I spent some family time at a local old town here in San Diego called Julian, where we have our annual buffalo burgers and hot apple pie, which is always a good time. Julian expecting snow this Christmas, which is exciting for Southern California, so I'm sure they'll have their share of visitors this weekend. As for Friday in the shop, I did move forward with those loop tails and the numbers on those compound bends. We'll go over that after the holidays. Meanwhile, I did run video finishing up those triangles, so I'll show you that here in just a minute. Also received some parts over the weekend on a project coming up, some of it sitting here behind me. I've been commissioned to build a tail dragger for a customer. So if you'd like to follow along with that, keep it right here on the Peak Cycles YouTube channel. At the end of the segment, before we sign off, if you stick around long enough, I may give you a little sneak peek of what Peak Cycles has in store for 2020. That's pretty much what's on the agenda for today. Let's keep it moving and see what's happening with Peak Cycles. As mentioned in the previous videos, we're about ready to use the big boy hole saw there at 2 1/4 inches. Going to give us a nice coat for the bottom bracket shell. This is the bottom tube, pretty much the only stick on the whole frame that I use 13 gauge, and I do that for strength. We all know our frames sit low, so it's just a personal preference of mine. Gonna fire this up, and I promise I won't make you watch the whole thing. And so we are making some progress here. We've got that tight miter there on the end, completed. And the coping for the down tube and the bottom tube here. And now for the moment of truth. Drum roll. Yes! I like it a lot. So we have one triangle completed. I'm gonna hit that single cantilever there in the middle, and then we will cut miter cope for the next 2 frames. Boom. Got the cantilever in. Now on to the next 2. I actually have a little jump on them. Been coping, cutting along the way. Just got to get them up on the table. Hit that sharp miter and the coping for the bottom bracket, and we will be on our way. Pretty much what's happening in the shop right now. All 3 of those triangles ready to go. Cut, bent, rolled, coped, notched, ready to hit the jig. As mentioned, I did move forward with those loop tails. I think I'm pretty close with figuring out those compound bends, which we'll go over after the holidays. As for this project here behind me, let me show you some stills, some beautiful work, components, parts that's going into this build. Check this out. This is what's called the oil slick look, if you're not already familiar with it. The name pretty much says it all. It has that multicolored oil slick effect. Photos never do its justice, so I'll show you some video here in a minute. 144 oil slick spokes on high polished hubs. 26x4 rear, 29x3 front. Built by Mr. Warren Wong. And again, this video isn't really capturing its full effect. Beautiful under natural sunlight, but I don't have that today because it's raining. There's the frame, tail dragger frame, standing by. Overall concept, oil slick over white. Should be a clean build for sure. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see this take form. As mentioned, if you'd like to follow along with the build, keep it right here on the Peak Cycles YouTube channel. Okay. So excited. There's so much I want to show you, but I can only show you a little bit because we're still in the, prototype stages. So here is a little blip of what I received over the weekend. So much more where that came from. Peak Cycles always trying to keep it fresh. The goal is to have a handful of new products to debut on New Year's Day. So if you're interested in seeing what's to come, be sure to keep it tuned here on the Peak Cycles YouTube channel. Meanwhile, that pretty much wraps it up. Hope you enjoyed today's version of what's happening at Peak Cycles. And until next time, from the Peak family to yours, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a safe, blessed holiday season.